Imagine a treasure so vast, so legendary, it could rival the riches of any kingdom: gold bars, priceless artifacts, and jewels worth billions. Imagine this treasure isn't in a museum, but buried beneath the soil of a tropical island, hidden by a ruthless army trying to preserve its empire. Welcome to the mystery of Yamashita's gold. Yamashita's gold is one of history's most tantalizing hidden treasures, allegedly buried across the Philippine mountains during World War II. This fabled hoard is rumored to be worth billions of dollars. But how did a Japanese general manage to bury such vast wealth? Why has no one ever found it? Could this gold still be out there, waiting in the jungles for someone bold or lucky enough to uncover it? The story begins during Japan's Imperial expansion in the Pacific. As Japanese forces swept through Asia, they looted vast amounts of treasure from occupied territories. This wasn't just war, it was systematic plunder. The stolen wealth included gold bars, ornate jewelry, and priceless religious artifacts, all amassed to fund Japan's war machine. As Allied forces closed in, the Japanese allegedly devised a desperate plan to secure this fortune, bury it in secret locations across the Philippines. Today, we'll uncover the story of Yamashita's gold, the ruthless operation that looted Asia, the key players behind it, and the obsessive treasure hunts that have followed. From secret codes and booby-trapped vaults to modern conspiracies, this tale has it all. The secretive origins of Japan's Golden Lily operation. What happens when an empire plunders the wealth of nations, only to bury it in the shadows of history? During World War II, Japan's conquests were not only territorial, but deeply economic. The operation responsible for this systematic looting was codenamed Golden Lily, allegedly overseen by Prince Chichibu, Emperor Hirohito's younger brother. This covert initiative aimed to amass immense wealth to fuel Japan's war efforts and cement its dominance. Japanese forces raided government reserves, private estates, and cultural institutions across Southeast Asia, confiscating gold bars, religious artifacts, jewelry, and other valuable treasures. Their reach extended to nations like the Philippines, Indonesia, and Malaysia. As the sheer volume of plundered wealth became impossible to transport back to Japan, the Philippines, due to its strategic location, was chosen as the primary hiding ground. The responsibility of concealing this vast fortune fell to General Tomoyuki Yamashita, a feared military tactician known as the Tiger of Malaya for his successes in the Pacific Campaign. To ensure secrecy, a network of underground tunnels, caves, and burial sites was established. The hiding locations were protected with elaborate traps, booby traps, collapsible tunnels, and even explosive charges designed to deter any attempts to recover the hoard. Forced laborers, often prisoners of war, were used to excavate these sites under brutal conditions. Tragically, to preserve the secrecy of the locations, many laborers were executed or buried alive once their work was complete. This ruthless approach ensured that only a select few knew the exact locations of the treasure. While the operation's immediate goal was to secure resources for Japan's military campaigns, its secrecy held deeper implications. It was not only a safeguard against Allied forces, but also a way to protect Japan's wartime legacy. The Golden Lily operation wasn't just about stealing wealth. It was a testament to Japan's desperation to maintain its empire at all costs. The Golden Lily operation stands as one of the most elaborate and chilling treasure stories of all time. Its mix of greed, secrecy, and ruthless precision continues to captivate historians and treasure hunters alike, leaving the world to wonder if this fabled fortune will ever be uncovered. The scale of plunder. How much wealth can an empire amass during war? Japan's wartime plundering was less a campaign and more an economic juggernaut. Between 1937 and 1945, Japan's forces looted vast territories, amassing an empire of stolen treasures. From China to Southeast Asia, no nation under Japanese occupation was safe from this organized pillaging. Gold reserves were looted from national banks. Ancient relics and artworks were taken from temples and private collections, and valuable materials were stripped from every corner of the empire. One of the largest and most notorious plundering campaigns occurred in the Philippines. With the war turning in favor of the Allies, Japan found itself unable to transport its vast wealth back home, so they chose to hide it in underground vaults across the Philippine Islands. Some estimates place the value of the treasure at a staggering $100 to $200 billion in today's terms. Japan's looting didn't end with land-based treasures. As Allied forces began targeting sea routes, some of the most significant treasures, gold bars and currency, were said to be transported by sea. However, many ships carrying these valuables were sunk by Allied forces, and much of the treasure was lost at sea. Undeterred, the Japanese military began hiding the remaining plunder on land, creating elaborate tunnels and burial sites in remote locations. The scale of Japan's wartime looting remains almost unimaginable, and the treasures they amassed were so vast that they could finance entire economies. For modern treasure hunters, this hidden wealth represents not just a fortune, but an enigma that may never fully be uncovered. General Yamashita, the Tiger of Malaya, becomes the treasure keeper. So, who was the figure chosen to guard this vast wealth? If you're going to hide billions in treasure, you need someone ruthless and strategic. Enter General Tomoyuki Yamashita. General Yamashita was feared and respected within the Japanese military for his ruthless tactics. After gaining fame in the invasion of Malaya, he was assigned one of Japan's most secretive roles, securing and hiding the empire's looted treasures. By 1944, with the tide turning against Japan, Emperor Hirohito and his advisors knew that these riches would need to be hidden and preserved for post-war Japan's recovery. He oversaw the transport of gold to hidden locations, using forced labor from prisoners of war and local villagers to dig tunnels, create traps, and seal the treasure. These workers, most of them never left the sites alive. By the time the treasure was being hidden in the Philippines, in late 1944, Yamashita's role had shifted from an offensive commander to a defensive one. He was tasked with preventing the Allied invasion of the Philippines, which was seen as a critical point for the Japanese war effort. Under Yamashita's orders, Japanese soldiers and engineers worked tirelessly to construct vast networks of tunnels and caverns throughout the Philippine mountains. They designed the vaults to be as impregnable as possible, using traps that would seal off the treasure permanently if anyone tried to open them without the right knowledge. These labyrinthine tunnels were filled with explosive devices, gas chambers, and false tunnels meant to throw off any treasure hunters who dared try their luck. Some stories even suggest that Yamashita personally inspected the traps, which were so deadly that they often killed the workers who set them up. Yamashita's reputation as a brutal and efficient general only added to the legends surrounding these hidden vaults. When the Allies closed in, Yamashita sealed the tunnels, taking the treasure's secrets with him, thus fueling rumors and a treasure-hunting craze that persists to this day. The end of the war, treasure lost in history. As Japan's empire crumbled, their secret treasure-hiding mission came to a dramatic end. By 1945, Japan was facing defeat on all fronts, and the once mighty empire was being overrun by Allied forces. General Yamashita, who was still stationed in the Philippines, realized that his chance to recover the treasure was slipping away. He ordered his men to seal off the burial sites, ensuring they would be unreachable without the precise codes and knowledge that he and a select few held. After Japan's surrender, Yamashita was captured and tried by US forces for war crimes. During his trial, not a single mention of the treasure surfaced. In February 1946, Yamashita was executed, allegedly without revealing the exact locations of the buried hoard. But whispers of the treasure continued, especially among the few surviving Japanese officers who had participated in the operation. One rumor suggests that Yamashita gave a map to a close confidant before his capture. If true, that map is likely one of the most sought-after pieces of paper in treasure hunting history. Thus, the legend of Yamashita's gold took on a life of its own. A buried fortune lost in time and secured by deadly traps, leaving treasure hunters with only maps, rumors, and a relentless desire for discovery. Paranormal activity and ingenious preservation. Think you've heard it all. What if the treasure isn't just hidden but haunted? Yamashita's gold isn't just a tale of treasure, it's steeped in eerie folklore. Paranormal enthusiasts believe that the restless spirits of those who perished during the treasure's concealment linger near suspected sites. Some treasure hunters have reported ghostly apparitions, eerie sounds, and inexplicable phenomena near these locations, adding a spine-tingling layer to the mystery. But that's not all. Some claim that the treasure was preserved with extraordinary foresight. Japanese engineers allegedly used mercury to seal gold bars in waterproof containers, protecting them from corrosion and ensuring their longevity. Ancient Japanese kanji mixed with esoteric symbols have reportedly been found on treasure maps, serving as cryptic clues for treasure hunters. These stories highlight the lengths the Japanese allegedly went to protect Yamashita's gold, making it more than a treasure hunt. It's a journey into a world where ingenuity and the supernatural collide. Events surrounding the treasure. What if I told you the hunt for Yamashita's gold has sparked lawsuits, assassinations, and international intrigue? After Japan's surrender in 1945, rumors of the treasure spread like wildfire. One story claims that U.S. intelligence agents found some of it and used it to fund covert operations during the Cold War. Another theory points to Ferdinand Marcos, the former dictator of the Philippines, who allegedly discovered part of the treasure and used it to amass his wealth. Then there's the case of Rogelio Roxas, a Filipino locksmith turned treasure hunter. In the 1970s, Roxas claimed to have found a golden Buddha filled with jewels, part of Yamashita's hoard. But after he went public, Roxas was arrested and the treasure mysteriously vanished. He later accused Marcos of stealing it, leading to a decades-long legal battle. The stories surrounding Yamashita's gold aren't just about treasure. They're about power, corruption, and the lengths people will go for unimaginable wealth. The ongoing hunt, treasure hunters, technology, and new clues. With technology on their side, modern treasure hunters are more determined than ever to unearth Yamashita's gold. Treasure hunters from around the world have dedicated their lives to finding Yamashita's gold. Armed with metal detectors, ground-penetrating radar, and even satellite imaging, they comb the rugged landscapes of the Philippines, determined to solve the mystery. In recent years, stories have emerged of hunters discovering anomalies in the ground, which they believe could indicate the locations of these legendary vaults. Many TV shows dedicated to treasure hunting have also explored the search for Yamashita's gold, showcasing their methods and the challenges involved in uncovering it. Some even claim to have felt as though powerful individuals were monitoring their efforts. Despite their persistence, no substantial treasure has been found. However, many remain convinced that part of the hoard still lies hidden, waiting to be discovered. Some treasure hunters believe they found clues in old Japanese wartime documents that suggest hidden caches are buried beneath waterfalls and other seemingly ordinary landscapes in the Philippines. Though no one has officially claimed to find Yamashita's gold, the hunt continues, with every new lead adding more fuel to this fascinating global quest. So, will Yamashita's gold ever be found? From the ruthless looting of Asia to the intrigue and conspiracies of Ferdinand Marcos, the tale of Yamashita's gold is anything but ordinary. With treasure hunters still combing through jungles, caves, and hidden vaults, the quest for the gold continues to capture imaginations worldwide. The treasure remains a symbol of greed, power, and mystery, proving that some secrets are just too valuable to let go. Whether or not Yamashita's gold will ever be fully recovered, its story remains one of the greatest treasure hunts in history, and it continues to spark adventure, speculation, and fascination.